Boris Johnson wants to use free ports to correct the fatal consequences of his Brexit policy. Companies should be lured with deregulation and low taxes. But actually, it's about something completely different. A dozen cranes are stretching up on the banks of the Thames. Freight containers are piled up on land. Behind it are large warehouses from companies such as UPS. At first glance, the London Gateway Freight Port, which opened in 2013 near the Thames estuary east of London, hardly differs from other such facilities. But that could change at the end of 2021. Then the port will become part of the Thames Free Port. 8 such free ports are currently planned as a kind of lifeline for Boris Johnson's Brexit policy. The British Prime Minister urgently needs reports of success in matters of Brexit, 3 months after the final EU exit at the turn of the year. The new barriers to trade with the EU, new to the UK, not new in general, have made it difficult to move goods in both directions. More than half of all UK companies report disruptions. London's talks with the EU about expanding the thin trade agreement have been slow, not least because of the vaccination dispute. Meanwhile, the London financial centre is losing business to Amsterdam, Frankfurt, Dublin and Paris. Now the free ports are supposed to contribute to the major Brexit trend reversal. The idea is not new. Such duty-free areas have existed around the world for a long time. Companies based there usually do not have to pay any customs duties or import taxes on goods that they purchase from abroad. These are not due until they sell their products on the domestic market. The companies in the free ports can also sell their goods abroad without them ever entering the customs area of their own country. Especially with the Brexit supporters among the Tories, the free ports have a particularly large number of fans. Elements of Thatcherism, that's low taxes and reduced requirements, come here together with ideas of free trade and a return to the supposedly glorious history of a seafaring nation. Chancellor of the Exchequer Rishi Sunak has also been an ardent fan for years. As early as 2016, Sunak published a report entitled The Free Ports Opportunity, back then as a relatively unknown backbencher. It was published by the right-wing think tank Centre for Policy Studies, one of the founders of which was former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. In his report, Sunak concludes that post-Brexit free ports would not only provide tangible benefits, as he says, for domestic manufacturers, but also send a clear message to international markets. He says that Britain's new global role is open, innovative and outward-looking. Free ports could lay the foundation for a golden age of prosperity in which British traders and companies could trade with every corner of the world. The otherwise cool minister looked correspondingly excited when he recently actually presented the places in Parliament where the first 8 free ports in England are to be built. Simplified requirements and investments in infrastructure, that is what he promises for the 7 ports and 1 airport that are to become customs-free areas. Customs, VAT and other charges for local companies would be lower. He says an unprecedented economic boom in the whole of the UK. Free ports are also to be created in Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland in the future. The state governments there will be responsible for this. The Social Democratic and Scottish Nationalist state government in Edinburgh have already indicated that it wants to tackle the issue differently than London. Green ports are to be created in Scotland. Among other things, the companies in the newly created duty-free areas are to be obliged to pay living wages and to contribute to integrative growth. They are also intended to help advance the Scottish state government's climate protection goals. So, a different approach. We will see what that will bring, but honestly, that was possible during their membership in the EU anyway. Hamburg had a free port for a long time, but there is a reason why many free ports nowadays are closed. So we will see what that will bring, but that is nothing, just to stress that they couldn't have done while they were a member. So this is nothing that the EU would have prevented just before they come up with this one of the Brexit benefits. No, it's not. And if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel. Auf Wiedersehen.